Alright guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to do your water-based ink pens. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of like little tiny landscapes and how to really use these. In your box here, you're going to have 12 different colors, and then up the top you're going to have your water-based color. This is really going to work as like your blender here. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to pick like a dark green, kind of use any sort of frame here. You guys can use just about really anything. You can use your landscape throughout the entire paper. I tend to section my stuff off a little bit, so if you choose to do that, go right ahead. If not, you can always find some really awesome pictures online. Just look outside if you'd like to. Just find something that appeals to you. Start with a little branch here, maybe some leaves. So if we really want to go in and color those in, I went ahead and already filled up my water-based pen. But basically just give it a little squeeze, the water will come into the tip here, and you can really just use that to blend this stuff out. That just dropped out a bit more, but it's okay, we'll work with it. If you guys are used to smudging when it comes to pencils and things like that, this would be basically the same thing but with water. Switch over to gray here. Now the faster you get to your ink after you've laid it on here with the water, the more it's going to bleed. So if I go ahead and do some mountains here really quick. You can like work back in with them, I think. And even going back over after the water is already in there, can really help this go a little bit more. It's not going to be as effective if you go back over later, just because the pen has a hard time kind of adhering to the water rather than just like laying it on dry paper. Switch over to the black, because in landscapes, the closer things are, the darker that they are going to appear on your paper. You would think it would be the opposite, but if you're ever looking outside around, you know, dawn or dusk, you'll see what I'm saying if you're looking out into the distance. And if you don't want your colors to bleed into each other, make sure to wait until they're dry before you kind of go over on top of them. I'm really going to try to avoid touching this leaf here with my black, because it will just bleed into the green. So maybe wait a little bit longer if you need to. I might just go back in here, add a little bit more depth into this back mountain. Yeah. I think I'll add some flowers here to kind of break up this composition. So we'll have it coming right out of the center here. The cool thing about these two is that when you go over each other, it's not like markers where the line's always going to be there. You can kind of cover it just because they are both water-based, and so if you add some water, it'll just kind of blend rather than give you like two separate layers. Now because these do expand on pressure, the thicker you want that line, the harder you should press on your paper. And now that I have my colors flat on here, I can go in with my water. And if you find that you do have residue from a different section, different color, or anything like that on your brush, feel free to fill this up and then just really squeeze out the water and flush that before you switch over. Because I'm starting to see a little bit of this black kind of in here, darkening up my flower here. I don't mind that as much, but if it bothers you, go ahead and rinse out your brush. Alright guys, so we're gonna wait for this to dry. You can just call it good here. You can also, wait for it to dry and add another layer of color. The less water you use, the more vibrant it's going to be, so you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to wait for this to dry, and then I'm going to add another layer on top of it, just that way you can kind of see like a multi-layer effect there. And so, yeah. Alright guys, so now that this is basically drier, we can go ahead and do just a little bit more on it. You can go ahead and use just about any of these colors here. I'm going to go ahead and use black. It's just kind of a stylistic choice on my part, but if you decide that you wanted to, go ahead and add some harsher lines with something other than something so dark, feel free to go ahead and do so. There we have it.